Awesome. Let's make some salsa. I have some garlic here with me, and I have some onion. We're gonna go ahead and cut this onion up. We are going to break open this garlic and chop up these serrano peppers because I like my salsa nice and hot. You know, salsa that's not hot, it's kind of like for the kids, right? In fact, when I was in Mexico, when I lived in Mexico, that's what we would talk about. We would talk about how salsa is for the salsa that for the children was the mild salsa, and the salsa for the adults was just considered salsa. So, in my house, when you have salsa, it is the hot salsa. This smells so good. I just took the top off. Oh my goodness. So the serrano peppers are pretty strong in there, but I think the onions kind of evened out. I think it's gonna be really good. I can't wait. All right, now I'm gonna make the sauce. I'm gonna cook the sauce, and I've been measuring the temperature. It's 280, what is it? 240? 240. Yeah, about 240, 250. I am gonna take the sauce out here and get it served in this little pan. Here we go. I'm adding some salt here. I love this salt dispenser. So when they release this vapor, it actually can make you sneeze or cough. So you gotta be careful. Now this is gonna cook down just a little bit, and we're gonna wait until it does. All right, I've just finished rinsing out the cast iron skillet. One of the things that you can do for the cast iron skillet is to get a napkin or a paper towel and dry that inside out. You wanna protect your finish on your cast iron skillet. And then to make sure, or double sure that your cast iron skillet is okay, turn on the fire. Oops, there you go. Leave it on for a little bit and then dry out that inside. Everything will be great. No rust. Use this. This is the New York Choice Thick Club, the New York strip steak. And it is being sold for $4.77 a pound. So, this is a lot of meat. Now, many people may not want to eat all this meat. So what you can do is we can cut it up, and that's what we're gonna do. And as you can see, there's a lot of fat on it. And this is gonna add to the flavor of the meat. I would not take away a lot of this fat. Maybe a little bit on this end, just because we want to be a little bit health conscious, but for the most part, the meat, the fat does add to the flavor of the meat. So when we cook it, this fat is going to render into the meat, and then we can shave off any extra fat when we finally eat it. Now this, might as well throw it away. You can render this and get some of this animal fat out here and use it for other recipes, but for right now, I'm not gonna do anything, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it away. Now, we wanna make sure that we can cut this in about the same kind of medallions. You can use them, you can put this on a skillet, the whole thing, or cut it up. And I'm gonna cut it up so that I can eat it in smaller portions. So this is about the right size. If I cut this any more to get this size, it'll have this extra piece that is gonna be kind of weird, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it about this size. Now for the salting. Make sure you salt plenty. All right, so it's over 500 degrees on the skillet, and it is ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab these pieces of meat and put them fat side down. All right, gonna start the sear. You can see that it's smoking, and that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see that it's smoking. And I'm searing the fat first, because when we're going to start cooking the actual sides, that may not get enough, temperature. And I'll time exactly to cook. And I really want that fat to render as much as possible. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over on the meat side. Yum. And I have this nice little screen to put on top. I love this screen because it allows the steam to come out, which is the water from the meat, but it still allows it to cook really high. When you have something like this, it seals the water in, and it makes it much more difficult for the it starts to braise. It actually creates a vapor effect on it. I don't really like that. So I'm going to leave this for 2 minutes on this side, and then I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to have 2 minutes on the other side. All right. First 2 minutes are done. As you can see, the tops are already starting to burn, not to burn, but to cook. And the bottom is nice and seared. What you want is that brown look. A little bit of black, but mostly brown. Okay, there you go. See, mostly brown. That is amazing. That's what we're looking for. Now at this point, oh my goodness, look at that one. Oh my god, that looks delicious. So at this point, we can add some butter on top of this, which is I'm going to do in just a second. Okay, I love to dispense my butter with a spoon. And I have this great French butter dispensary. I just take it off like this. Look at this, nice. It stays room temperature when it's in this cup. So now I take this and I'm going to add this to my meat like that.
A dollop of this one on this one. And we're watching the time, making sure that it doesn't go over. And now to get another spoon. Alright, another spoon. Another dollop. Butter is good.
Alright, I think they are done. Turning off the fire and now looking at beautiful. Look at this beautiful, beautiful look. Oh my goodness. Now I'm putting it onto a plate, and there's a reason for my madness. Putting it on the plate because these beautiful pieces of meat are going to start to cool, and their meat, the juices is going to come into this plate. This plate's going to hold on to that juice, and it is delicious. You can see the juice here in the pan, but that may not be something we want to use right yet. But for this recipe, we're just going to make it here, keep all the juices pooled onto this plate, and we're going to let the meat rest for as long as it was cooking. So about 4 minutes, okay? Delicious. We've waited 4 minutes. They are done. As you can see, the meat pulls down, or the juice pulls down right underneath each pieces of meat. And you don't want to lose that. That is so good, especially if you're going to put some rice on it. You want to put some rice here. That juice in the rice is going to come together and it's just going to make, oh my goodness, food heaven. It's just delicious. So now that we've waited for this to cool and to rest, we call it resting, we are going to cut the meat, right? So here's a good tip. So that your meat doesn't cool off so quickly, use your plate, put your plate, run it under really, really hot water at the sink. That's fantastic. Or you can take this plate and then fill some water in it, pull some water, put it into the microwave, turn it on high for about 45 seconds, pull it out, and the plate will be really hot. Dump the water, dry the plate, put the meat on it. That way your meat does not get cold. Now let's look at what this meat looks like, okay? I'm gonna take this out. Here we go. And here we go. I'm gonna put this plate off to one side. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for. My goodness, my mouth is watering. So there it is. How you like that? It is a beautiful medium to medium well, right there. So if you're ever wondering, well, how do I get a medium to medium well? My family always likes medium to medium well. That's how you do it. So it's 2 minutes on one side. So the pan has to be hot. 500 degrees, that's pretty hot. Then you put it on and you have, then you cook it. So your cooking is 2 minutes on one side and 2 minutes on the other. So let me just show you what it looks like. There you go. So you can see the cooking actually went in, or the browning actually went in about 3 to 4 millimeters, and then after that it is good. It is a beautiful light pink. So once we have this piece of meat nicely cut, we are going to put them back onto here. Now again, I could have put some ginger rice here, and I'll send you that recipe later if you like, but some ginger rice would have been fantastic here. But at the moment, we are going to do just this, and we're gonna put some of this chutney. So let me push this off to one side so I don't let my plate get into the meat sauce. I'm not touching the meat. I'm not touching the sauce. Don't worry about it. The chutney. Here we go. Delicious. And we need a spoon for this. 1 second. Got it. Got a spoon for it. Here we go. Take this. This is so delicious. We're gonna put this off to one side here, and it's almost like a chimichurri. It's not a true chimichurri. But now the fork, and let's eat this baby. All right, so let's try this meat. Yum, 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 yum. Here we go. First piece, delicious. The outside's a little crusty because that's why you want it, right? You want that good flavor and that sear on the outside, and then on the inside it's very soft, delicious, full of meat. That meat flavor, but just the right amount of salt on it is fantastic. So that was with salt only, no chimichurri sauce, right? With the chutney. Now we're gonna put the chutney sauce on. And believe you me, this is gonna be a little bit hot, just because I used serrano peppers and not jalapeno peppers. This is what it looks like. It's great. Flavor is delicious. It's very hot. Onion disappeared. I taste the cilantro, the garlic, the serrano, of course, but the onion disappeared. I think it may be because of the cilantro. Anyway, fantastic. I hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy making your own New York steak. All right, now we're gonna make some chocolate chips. I love chocolate chips, and I found this great recipe, which I will add to the bottom of this this video. So first we're gonna put our dry ingredients in one bowl, and we're going to use our wet ingredients in the other. All right, now that the butter is melted into, not melted, but placed into the sugar and the flour, make sure now we're gonna go ahead and put the liquid, the eggs, and the vanilla. That is all we need to make this a nice, beautiful dough. Here it comes. Now this, of course, is much easier if you had a mixer. Much, much easier. I had one, but I sold it. So now once we get this done, we're gonna put a generous amount of chocolate chips. We want to put the chocolate chips at the end because we don't want to damage the chips. I'm gonna make them as whole as possible. Look how beautiful this is coming together. Oh my goodness, this is what you're looking for. Just a little bit more, and this is gonna be a creamy mixture. And I'm using a wooden spoon. Oh my goodness, my hands. I'm using a wooden spoon so that we can easily take it off, right? We don't want to lose the dough. You can definitely, mix it in a whisk, but if you mix it in a whisk, it's going to be stuck in all the whisk. But so this is the best way, or a mixer. Did I mention that? I think I did. Mixer. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Almost ready for the chocolate chips. All right, so for chocolate chips, I'm using the Ghirardelli brand chips because I like them kind of chunky. I would have gone with the chunky chips, but I did not find chunky chips at the grocery store. I did not want to go look for them. So there's that. Now we want to go ahead and get 2 generous cups of these chips. I was talking to my daughter and she was like, there's too much chocolate in those cookies. And I'm thinking, I don't know. I've always, since I was a kid, chocolate chips was all about the chocolate chips. So I can't imagine there being too many chocolate chips. So I'm gonna put just two cups, even cups, not generous cups. so that anybody who's there, and I take into account everything that my daughter said. She may be right. There may be too many chocolate chips. Who knows? All right, so I'm going to mix these chocolate chips into the dough, and then I'm going to wait. I'm going to chill this for a second in the refrigerator, and then I'm going to, for about, I don't know, about 30 minutes to an hour. Dough is better the longer it waits because the gluten in the flour allows it to coming out, and it just makes the dough much more flavorful. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this dough rest for a little bit. Done. The dough is ready. The chips are in the dough. I am going to take advantage of this spoon that has a lot of cookie dough on it. Eat it. And then I'm gonna cook it in a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes. So don't tune away. Don't look away. It's gonna be amazing. Excellent. So now it's time to make the cookies. I have a 1/4 cup spoon, and I'm gonna use this to make or to scoop my cookies. I love larger cookies than not. So 1/4 cup is all you need. Out. The oven is at 375. Open up. Put them inside. All right. 14 minutes. And the cookies are ready. I'm going to put them here. So I'm going to put them off one side. I'm going to put them on this rack here to cool the spatula. All right, it's done. 19 cookies later. So that's how much that recipe makes. 19 cookies. Whoa, 19 cookies. So let me, 19 cookies, and a spoonful of cookie dough. Delicious. All the chocolate chips have been cooked, so there's nothing left to eat except for the actual cookies. It's amazing. So let me show you what they look like. Now I added a little bit of sea salt right here. Sea salt actually enhances the chocolate. So actually any salt does, but flaky sea salt makes it sparkle. Makes you look like a fancy chef. We all want to look like that, right? So let's look at what this looks like. Here we go. Yum. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Alexa, off. Alexa's helping me with the timer. So, and with that, I'm gonna get the one with the salt on it. Delicious. So I'm gonna add the recipe at the bottom of this video in the description. Okay. Hello, cookie. Goodbye, diet. Delicious.